Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at a couple more entries in the Microman Magne Power series. These are the Acro Change Troopers, so very similar to the normal Change Troopers, which were the allies of the Micromen. These are the Acro Change Troopers. Man, that is Acro Change Troopers. Try to say that 5 times fast. Anyway, the Acro are the name of the bad guys in this series, so these are kind of the villain equivalent of the Change Troopers. But you can see we have 3 here. They are based on animals. Now, in the middle here, we have Cob-rage, like Cobra Rage, Cob-rage. He came in packaging. I got all these on Mandarake, but I have to be honest, the packaging he came in was kind of gross, very faded, and the stickers were peeling, and it was just kind of generally, I just threw it out. These apparently lasted much better than that, so I kept these for the purposes of the review. They're very similar. So we have Cob-rage to take a look at, but unfortunately I had to destroy his packaging because it was already pretty much destroyed when I got it. But he was number 19. Over here we have number 20. Now, if I'm reading the katakana, it says his name is Jigok Pinch, because he's like a beetle, so he has like the pinching little pincers there. I don't know what Jigok is. I tried to look it up on Micro forever, and they said his name was Heck Pinch, but I don't know where that came from, so I don't know. In any case, over here we have Chain Spider, number 21, so 19, 20, and 21. These are the 3 Acro Troopers, Acro Change Troopers, my mistake. If we take a look at the back of the packaging here, you can see it just kind of shows you the robot, shows you the very simple transformation. Again, they transform almost exactly the same as the normal Change Troopers that were the little vehicles for the Micromen. They just turn into little animals here, so shows how they can kind of, move around. I believe they still have the magnets in their feet. It looks like they have one magnet in one foot, so we'll get there, but apparently not both feet. But it shows you the lineup here. I'll zoom in a little bit. You can see here are the 3, so those are the 3 we'll be taking a look at. And then these are the larger Acroya. These are the Acro Monsters, so there you go. I think the 3 of them go together to make a larger robot. And then here's the transformation instructions. Very simple. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get these other 2 out of their packaging, and then we'll dive in and take a look at all 3. Taking a look at these 3 out of the packaging, one thing that I think is really neat, I like how they all have the translucent blue element. It kind of unifies them all together, but also lets them have like different color schemes with the blue. It's kind of neat. We'll start over here with Cob-rage, who I think is kind of the most successful out of the 3 as far as his animal and his gimmick. You can see he's got kind of the cobra head here as a weapon that you can put in his hand, and you can open and close the mouth. It kind of reminds me of Quick Strike from Beast Wars, which I think is kind of neat. But if you want to just go ahead and take this out of his hand, he does have 2 regular hands, so you don't have to have him hold the cobra weapon if you don't like that look. He can just kind of use it as a weapon. And like I said, the mouth of the cobra does open and close. So as far as these figures go, they're very much the same, if not exactly the same, as the normal Change Troopers. You have a ball joint in the shoulder, ball joint in the elbow, ball joint in the hip, ball joint in the knee, and I guess you have a ball joint in the neck too. You can kind of see it's just exposed down there. So I'll try to get close-ups of these heads, but it's difficult with them being chrome. It's hard to really tell what they're going for. I think it's some kind of cobra head helmet type of deal. But really nice paint here on the chest. I think that looks good. As far as transformation, they're all going to transform exactly the same way. You just pull them at the hip. That's just the 2 tabs that tab into the torso there. So you just kind of pop that. Swivels all the way around, up into place. Then you see that there's another hinge right here. That's going to come down and then just peg against the body. And then you just kind of put the arms straight down. And then you're going to come around to the front, and you can kind of see there's a big tab right there. This is just going to slide right over that. And there you go. There is the Cobra. Obviously, it looks a little weird with his body being so thick. But, he's got the tail on the back. He's got the big, what would you call this? The Cobra neck plumage? I don't know. What do you call that? When they puff out their neck when they're ready to strike? I mean, again, really nice orange paint here on the translucent blue. Mouth opens and closes, so not bad. Now he also has this large metal ball here. This is so you can connect him with some of the larger figures that have magnets. You can connect that. Some of the larger, like the monsters and things like that, have magnet points for joints. So you could go ahead and use this as, say, like an arm or something like that. So they give you that metal ball joint there. So we'll put him off to the side. We'll move on next to, I'm just going to start calling this guy Pinchy, because I'm not 100% sure what his name is. But you can see he's got this, the quote-unquote weapon is like basically the whole front part of the Beetle. So he's got the little pincers. They don't open and close, which I kind of wish they did. They're just molded solid. And then you have the legs. So to try to have him wield this as a weapon, it's not super easy because the legs very easily get in the way. But you can see he does have a peg underneath here. So he can hold this. It's kind of a tight fit. I'm almost kind of afraid this is going to break off. Maybe we can wiggle this out of here. No. He's going to hold it forever, apparently. Come on, sir. Why are these so tight? I mean, I feel like it's moving around. I don't think I'm breaking it. Just really does not want to come out there. Okay. I'm going to actually take the hand off the ball joint because I think that will be more successful. Really afraid I'm going to break this. Okay, you know what? I'll be back in a sec. Okay, success. I was able to get it off. It was very difficult. As you can see, it's just a really long peg. And it was just really snug in there, and it was moving around, but it would not. I had to use like tweezers to kind of use the spring action to pop it off. So I don't think I'll be having him hold that very much anymore. I mean, it was already kind of unwieldy and giant, and so now if it's going to get stuck on there, I'm not going to bother. Again, we'll try to take a closer look at the head sculpt, but again, it's very difficult to tell what they're going for. It's just kind of a mass of chrome. So yeah, but again, nice paint there on the chest, looks pretty good. Transformation exactly the same. Now, I will say I'm going to put this on first because this almost doesn't fit. It's kind of like smooshed in on itself, like you kind of have to stretch it out a little bit, so just be a little careful. I guess this guy's really a problem all the way around. There we go. We'll slide that on, keep the arms straight down, then we can bring this and peg this down. Why is it not doing it? There we go. Okay. So now you have the pincer, so like where his feet are become the front, very similar to the Cobra. I think it works okay. I appreciate that he's got the legs and that the hands kind of fit underneath. It kind of tucks them away, which is nice. But I don't know. I don't feel like it's super successful because it just looks a little weird. But I think the back's kind of cool. I like the green. It's a nice pop of color. And they all have one magnet in one of the feet. I forgot to mention that earlier. And then again, he's got the metal ball joint there. So next up, we will move to Chain Spider. I really like this guy too. I think they did a good job with him. I think the dark green works well with the blue. I think that looks really cool. Now they do have these holes on the back. I think they all have that, right? Yeah, so if you could figure out a way to get this to peg on the back, you could do that as well for storage. It's not great though. I mean, it's doable, but it's not great. So again, we'll try to take a close-up look. I feel like his is the most pronounced of all the heads. I can actually almost tell what they're going for, and it's kind of a cool design. So I like that. And again, they all have the same articulation, so I went through that already. But we'll go ahead, pop this up. Now his, you almost kind of have to bend the head a little forward to get it to clear. So just be a little careful with that. And then I'm going to go ahead, because this gets a little weird. You know, before I do the transformation, I should show off his, like, rear section, because it's going to be easier to show you not connected to the spider mode. So go ahead and stand there for a second. And let's go ahead and take a close-up look at this piece here. So again, I think the orange looks really cool with the blue. Now, because he's a spider, he's got this string, and you can go ahead and push this piece all the way in, and it has a magnet on the end, which is really cool. And then you can see underneath here, there's a length of rope and like a wind-up pole. I don't know what you call it, just a plastic rod that you can wind around. So that's kind of neat. So when he's in spider mode, he can, you know, make it look like he's shooting out webbing, and he can actually hang from it because it's got a magnet there. Now, technically, you could have him because it does have a pole right here for him to hold on to. But again, you get the legs in the way, and it's really hard to get him to hold on to the thing. So I guess it's possible, but it's kind of a pain. You know, he could, I guess technically this is backwards. Like if you wanted him to try to hang from that or shoot it out as a gun or something, it's so hard for them to hold it because the animal legs get in the way, or the insect legs, or whatever you want to call it. So it's a bit of a bummer, but I think it's cool that they're going for the gimmick. And I think the gimmick works well when it's actually connected here. So I'll show you what I mean. We're going to go ahead, and this actually comes all the way into here. And then you fold the arms up and then connect that in. Keep the arms in, then bring the legs down. Some of these, with the clearance, it's not the best, but it will eventually, there we go, snap in. And there you go. So this one I actually think looks pretty good as far as the spider, because the legs kind of come all the way up to meet the front. So you don't have a lot of dead space in there. So I think that actually works really well. And then he's got this, so you can have him hang, which is actually really cool. And the way this works, you're going to have to move the feet, which can be a little bit annoying, but I guess technically you'd have to bring this all the way up. You can wind this in. It's just not, it's not easy to get to it with the legs in the way. And there were two little tabs of plastic on the wheel itself, and it was preventing it from spinning while it was attached, so I had to shave those down, but now it works, and I can spin this while it's attached, so you can get the rope to wind around, and then you can bring this in and kind of put it in there, and then close this back up, and then just kind of let out a little bit as you want, and then you can hang from it, which I think is pretty cool. It's a really neat feature. I think that's definitely got the best feature out of the three of them. So I think that's really, really cool. So I wanted to showcase all three of them together. I think it's weird that two of them are kind of insects and one of them is a cobra. Again, I don't mind the cobra. I just feel like I would have liked them all to be insects or all to just be random animals. Like I would have liked maybe like an alligator or something random. I think the spider's cool. This guy's probably my least favorite, unfortunately. I don't know. I think the cobra's fun. I think the spider's definitely fun, but I would have liked maybe a bat or an alligator or something. Just more fun, kind of a more exciting villainous animal to go with these. But like I said, I do like how they have the consistency of the translucent blue plastic going throughout. And these guys don't really have like the ability to be mounts or vehicles like the normal change troopers did. But I think that's because we don't really have bad guy equivalents of the Micromen. We have like the larger, I forget what they're called, but the Acro generals, I guess, that have like the arms with the projectile weapons. Those guys are bigger than Micromen, so it wouldn't make sense to have them ride these guys anyway. And then the next size is to the monsters, which doesn't make sense for them to ride either. So I feel like it made sense to make them, instead of like vehicles to be ridden, make them animals. And I think they, for the most part, chose a pretty good assortment of animals here. These two are definitely my favorite. This guy's not bad, but I think he's definitely lowest on the totem pole out of the three. But I don't know. The more I look at it, I think maybe the spider is beating the cobra out for me. I think the spider is really cool, and I think they did a good job with the. It's hard to get that to go, but having the legs kind of come up and all sit so that it looks like a cohesive thing, and I absolutely love having this come out with the magnet. I think is just such a stroke of genius there. Really fun play pattern there, so really, really like that quite a bit. So for the most part, I think these are pretty cool. I think maybe the spider has the best alt mode, animal, insect mode, whatever you want to call it. And I think maybe the cobra has the best robot mode. The cobra certainly has the best weapon piece, because I feel like it's the only one that he can actually hold in his hand, and it's not, one, it doesn't get stuck in there that you can't take it out, and two, it doesn't have so many legs in the way that you can actually still, see the robot mode while he's holding it. So I think maybe the Cobra wins definitely in that regard, but I do really like the spider gimmick with the strand of webbing and the magnet so you can hang him from things. I think that's a really cool idea. Overall, I think their color schemes work. Pinchy's probably my least favorite, but I do also really like his color scheme. I think the rust color red with the blue really works, and I like putting the leg piece on his back like that. I think it's a cool effect to give him those legs on the back like that. I tried to do something similar with the spider guy, but where the post mounts on the hole in his back, it puts it too high. It puts it like about here, which looks weird. And then I thought about just attaching it where it would be in the spider mode, but that puts it about here, which I feel like is a little low. I kind of want it to be like around there. That's where I'd want it to be, and I can't get it to attach. Plus, it makes them really back heavy, so they just want to fall over all the time, so I just leave it off. But overall, I think they're fun. They definitely have the same body, all three of them, so the transformation's the same. And I think they could have picked a cooler animal for him. Like I said, I would have loved an alligator or a bat or something cool like that. I think the spider and the cobra are very cool. In any case, I'm just rambling at this point. I think they're neat. I definitely think they're worth checking out if you're a fan of the Microman line, especially the Magne Powers. Definitely want to add these to your collection. I found all mine on Mandarake, and I'm pretty sure I paid like less than 1,000 yen each, so probably like less than $10 a piece. For $20-year-old toys still in the packaging, I think $10 or less a piece is still pretty darn good. I think I paid like 600 a piece for these, maybe 900 for him, something like that. So very reasonable. But in any case, they're fun, cool little toys, rather inexpensive, and I just think they're a lot of fun. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.